Aloha and welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. It's Monday, July 15th, 2024. Got quite a bit to talk about today as far as what's going on prior to this market open and running a slight bit on the late side. So let's get right into what our risk is saying. Holding relatively level, the MMRI still high territory, but it's level and dropping. And this is tied in with the 10-year yield and the relative strength of the dollar. So both those gaining a slight bit this morning. However, they're both down for a bit, which is allowing a run for the stocks. So we've got stocks in green territory. So I expect the open to be very green. Right now, stocks in the green pre-market and the futures are in agreement with that. We've got gold and silver down. Those are the safe haven demand. We've got cryptocurrency is up. That is also on the events that happened. I'll go into that a little bit more. So, relative strength of the dollar and the 10-year yield rising a bit. They're still in a channel. So, not anything major, nothing moving out, but they're giving a bit of room to the stocks. So, we have got a couple of other pressures as far as the data. We've got non-farm payrolls telling the truth. It's in decline. Payrolls and real wages, according to their own Bureau of Labor statistics, are in decline. So the sentiment right now, we've still got upward momentum and that will break up. Breakup will occur, but for now, still green, particularly for morning on the open. After that, we'll have to watch. We've got rotation is beginning. So moving into small caps and kind of a melt up phase for those, but out of tech. Tech is very weak at the moment. So green in the morning, and then my probabilities show more of a chop, basically within a range. It'll continue up with the momentum, hit a particular range, and then stay within that range. Trade volatility is what it looks like will be the case for today, but we'll have to see. Calendar, what's going on? We are getting manufacturing prior to market open. We're hearing from Fed Chair Powell at noon. So he has the ability to move markets and kind of manage them with what he says in expectations without even having to hike or cut the rates. Tuesday, we're getting retail sales, import price index, and then also the basically adjusted of those two prior to the market open. So we've got two stories coming out, and they do not agree. We've got bank stocks. They're advancing following a robust employment gains. So in the calendar today, we are getting bank earnings starting. We've got Goldman Sachs prior to open, BlackRock, another bank, First Bank, more banks tomorrow, and more Tuesday morning prior to open, namely Morgan Stanley, Charles Schwab, PNC, and then other small ones as well. United Healthcare Group Insurance and Bank of America. So we've got some pretty large in the financial sector. We'll be watching the financials very closely. So bank stocks saying they're advancing on robust employment. But then we've got the US job report revisions suggesting economy is worse than first portrayed. So no shock that the revisions are showing opposite of what they're coming out with to kind of manage this market, just to show you and make you aware of what is going on. Now, these both of these stories came out same day, within 2 hours of each other. So be very cautious of that. So I want to bring up a little bit more now. Evictions, and this is showing the real economy again. Evictions surging major cities in the American Sunbelt. So we're watching this housing phenomena occur. It is local. Other areas will fall faster than others. So the rapid rise and increase are the first areas that are going to be hit. So what happened with cryptocurrencies and the stock markets? The event with the presidential nominee basically kicked off a lot of things. So with this, during the slump, and I was trying to tell you about this prior, if you were here, if you're new, Stick around. Hopefully I have something good for you. We've got Bitcoin whales bought up $4.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. This is not to mention the ETFs. This is Bitcoin alone among that price drop. So, as I was saying, there was fundamental strength underneath at buying areas. This does not mean it cannot drop again. I don't know that we'll be fortunate enough to get another buying opportunity there, but we'll see. Germany is out of their Bitcoin to sell. And I'll speak a little bit more about that as well. So he is in good spirits and will still attend the Nashville Bitcoin conference. He's going to speak there. He's known as the Bitcoin president nominee. This is very positive for the space. He is also very positive for stocks in general. And that is a part of this market rally. So he's good for the stock market, good for cryptocurrencies. And as it looks like this just strengthened his chances quite a bit, significantly. So the markets are on a rise because of this. So with this, we've got another story. Skilled AI, can't make up that name. They're announcing $300 million in funding from Jeff Bezos and SoftBank to build what they're calling robot brains. So I don't know, with a name like Skilled AI, I think you would at least be wearing a heavy gold chain, don't you? Let me know what you think about that. So anyway, getting funding from Jeff Bezos. Now, they have Amazon Web Services. I've been speaking about this for a while, building on their artificial intelligence. So this is one to watch. Very positive for Amazon, even though it's Jeff Bezos outside of it. Okay, talking about big tech and what's moving out of this. After this, we've got what's going on with countries. So Fed Chair Powell speaking today, his warning already of high holding rates could hurt US economy and jobs. Now he's looking towards the jobs data, and as we just saw, it's not as good as they're putting out. So I expect there could be quite a change in this coming forward. So going back to Germany, why did they sell their Bitcoin? I was asked this several times. Because they are broke. So unlike the United States, who pools and prints on their own, basically have no one to answer to, Germany is tied in very tightly with the EU. So they must make up their debts and deficits within a certain value in order to keep in with this. They've got loans already, and the IMF is basically a keeper on this front. So they've got an agricultural firm plunging 35% over financing difficulties because they can no longer get loans. They've got a new economist, and this is talking about leading their battle against debt. Well, they've got to do something. So they're selling as many assets as they can. The Bitcoin they got was confiscated from various entities. Basically, they used the opportunity to seize their funds. They now just sold this on the open market, basically at the bottom. So they were able to catch the bottom and sell into it. So we've got more stories about Germany's factories foundering while competition from China revs up. So they are the most concerned about China. The imports crushing basically business. Their manufacturing is down tremendously, and it's going to hit their labor market very soon. They see this coming, so they are trying to basically position against it. That is what's going on. Okay, going over to Russia, they are considering allowing digital currency trading on the country's largest exchanges. So with this, they're basically opening up. They've got a CBDC, they've got an e-ruble already. They have been opening up their exchanges. They do direct trade with China, euro, yen, as well as other countries with their goods, their oil, and fertilizer, as well as natural gas. And we've got our good old lady here. US Treasury is very attentive, quote unquote, very attentive to Russia's use of cryptocurrency. Why is this number one example? Number two, because they still have, even though Japan is number one, Saudi is, I believe, number two or number three. Russia is also a large holder still of treasuries, and if they dump them at the same time in basically along with China, could cause serious issue with them. So going into our things that basically get our video cut from here that I've noticed, a couple of stories I want to talk about. We've got food production facing squeeze from government policy, warning the farming sector. Now, I cut out where this is from because it doesn't matter. It's global now. This is getting hit hard in northern Oregon farms, the northwest in the United States, but this actually came out of Ireland because it's hitting Ireland, hitting the European Union, and also hitting border areas there. So it is war on food production. Any farm basically that is not owned by a larger corporation, namely if you trickle up either BlackRock or a couple of the others that are global owners. And I've got this other story over here. What is the story? It's just a photograph. Well, the photograph is burning. What is burning? It is a construction site for a migrant camp. And this is in Kulak. And they're saying no to basically the building of the migrant camps. Now, you've got a very significant division here, and it's being washed over in the news. Basically, you've got the government, and you've got what the people are very clearly saying, but they are being washed out and watered down with illegal, stress this, migration, because I think migration is good. The migration as it is set up and as it follows, and I've said this before, can be very positive for jobs, the economy, and several other things. But the illegal migration brings in a lot of criminals. They're unvetted, also brings in larger cost, larger spending from the government, and many other issues. So we're watching this divergence happen. There are others that see now what is going on. And if we want to continue to maintain our freedoms, this is part of what I'm going to now call the maintenance program. And we need to look forward to more maintenance programs if we choose to keep this. So, with this, I wish you all a great green trading day. We've got a lot of positive things coming in here. And above all, my friends, until I see you again, stay free.